What now?
Why won't it end? Why will this game not free me from its hold? My soul! Alright. Hello. Hi. Howdy, howdy. I'm here. I'm ready. I'm good. I'm doing great. I'm not being tortured by a video game. I'm not witnessing one of my favorite games turn into my own personal sleep paralysis demon. That's not happening. So, yeah, we're in the epilogue. Hey, Snow, there's nothing left. Except the game won't finish. Despite the fact that I have beaten the final boss, the game won't end. It just keeps going. So I'm gonna go around town and talk to everyone now. Because I guess that's what I have to do. I literally can't do anything else other than go around town talking to everyone. I swear to God, if this game is like, hey, here's a whole extra dungeon, we're done. I'm closing the game. And as far as the playthrough on stream, it's over. And I'll just tell you guys, if I bother to play this in 3 months, that I was like, oh, actually, it turns out it was a really fun epilogue dungeon. It was super cool. But I'm not doing it on stream. I refuse. If somebody says, hey, one more goddamn time, all right. When you finish your business outside the palace, please promise you'll return to resume your duties, your majesty. If you take this as my pressuring you not to venture out, that's not it at all. Only that as captain of the royal guard, I must know your whereabouts at all times. Wow, the formality. Sounding awfully formal there, Hulkenberg. That is, think of your station. How else would a knight's captain address the land's king? To be overfamiliar with would set a poor example. Imagine the scandalized faces of the rank and file guard. That said, not a day goes by that I don't reflect on our travels, now only a year past. I owe regaining my pride as a knight to that journey. I was but a wanderer searching in vain for the prince, and it was through you I learned he yet lived. And in the end, it was your ascent to the throne I supported. I never tire of the faces the younger guards make when I tell them of the time you acted as witness to my duel. Ah, Rodan. Yes, thanks to you, I was able to face him with my eyes forward and put my past behind me. I'm pleased to say the knights of today are nothing like what they were under Rodan's command. Soldiers take up their sword, not for those in power, but for the people. And as the champion of the people yourself, we will do all in our power to protect you, our king. You do not make it easy by sneaking out of the palace as you do, though I suspect the soldiers are getting used to your chaotic tendencies. They know to protect not just a king, but a ruler who stands beside his people and hears their voices in clarion truth.
I vow.
I will protect you with my life, as I have always endeavored to do, your majesty. Only let me stay by your side to do so. Oh, okay, so I can walk over to Maria and just end it if I wanted to. No, I'll talk to everyone. I'll talk to everyone. Shut up, second. I don't want to see a single word from you. Shut up. Yeah, there's more. Yeah, there's more. Oh, look, all of our friends are in Grad Trad just for us. Look at all our buddies. Hey, remember how before the final fight, they were like, say bye to all of your friends? This is your last hurrah. The game then forwarded an entire year. So by the way, hey guys, we became king. A year has passed. We have been ruling. It seems like things are getting better. People are liking us. We're one of the... Oh, do they pause to look at you? Wait, did I just accidentally end up standing next to that woman? Oh, I did. Wow, that was like perfectly placed. I didn't even realize I stood next to her. And then a year have time, we're the type of king who like sneaks out of the palace all the time to hang out with those of his country. So that's the start of this. Is literally we were at the Honeybee Inn to hang out with the little sis Maria, and then also to just see about the town. And then Hulkenberg found out that I wasn't in the office when she was there looking at the piles of forms that hadn't been signed or stamped, and then looked past the pile and saw no one in his seat. So yeah. Why do we have to sneak out? We're literally the king. We can just leave. No, that's the point. We have to sneak out past Hulk. Because Hulkenberg, being the royal knight, she must be at your side at all times type of person, is like, you can't just walk around the streets like a normal person. It's like, why not? What you're saying is our character. It was like, yeah, wait, no, why can't I just leave? I was like, because you're the goddamn king. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm just go out and get an apple. I just want to get some food. You tell me I can't go to the convenience store? Shit. Say hi to the folks. But yes, let's talk to Alonso first. I'm going in a straight line.
Pleasure to see you.
Why, hello, Your Majesty. It's only been a year since your coronation, but I see you've become quite apt at sneaking away from your palatial duties. Under constant fire from knaves of all trades, con artists and critics alike, your opening act has been rather tumultuous now. I hadn't noticed. Oh, has it? I hadn't noticed. How kingly an answer. Never missing an opportunity to display how capable you are. Commendable. Oh, I should take that off because it's going to be all text. Yeah. Besides, most of those agitators are the kind of scum that stirs the pot in hopes that they might benefit from the country's turmoil. Nothing I couldn't handle, of course. All in a day's work for the real adjutant to the Citizens' Council. Quite an ally I've made, I should hope. I wonder if my mother would be the slightest bit proud to see who I've become. That I'm doing my damnedest to use my talents for good, as I always should have. I'm sure she would. There's no doubt in my mind. I hope so. I was such a problem child. I'd like to make this a country where honest folk like my mother can be happy.
You mention it.
Ah, that reminds me. Do you remember Dachiram, my hometown's landowner? He told me to send you his regards. He's since confessed his crimes and is awaiting trial. You were the one who awakened his conscience. It makes sense, doesn't it? You've proven your ideals to be true. That's why the country is doing so well. There's nothing more to it. I'm hardly qualified to speak of pride, but if this country has one, it's you. And I'm proud to be among its people. Perhaps under your rule, the day will come that even we Nelia can walk about freely in our true forms. Ah, you're curious what I look like in my true form? I'd be happy to oblige, but let's save that for another time, shall we? You know what? Nah, I don't need all y'all revealing yourselves to me. There's some freaky about that. Like, not in a bad sense, because it's so intimate. It's like I would never trust anyone with this form except someone I trust dearly. I'm like, I don't need y'all to trust me that much. Hold on now. First Juna, now Alonzo. I'm like, at this point, it feels like you're coming on to me by revealing that. I'm chill. Back up. Back up, Lalafels. Back up. I don't like it.
Oh.
Well, I see our king is out on some personal business, eh? I believe Hulkenberg was searching for you. I suppose it's none of my business who comes or goes. I'm on break myself. Only try not to frustrate your royal guards over much. They all take their duties quite seriously, much like their captain. Ah, who am I kidding? A knight who smiles is surely a myth. That's become clear to me since becoming titled. What could be more bizarre? A UG Falcast, once a wanted criminal with a bounty on his head, made knight commander. There was of course some opposition at first, but the more heart-to-heart talks I've had, the more accepting they've become, albeit gradually. An outcast became king too. They needn't look further than the outcast who became their king.
True.
Indeed. You face no shortage of persecution. I'm falling apart. I burned my tongue earlier on Indian food, and now it's making it impossible to speak. And look at you now. Grand titles and posts across the nation are no different, spread across all the tribes. I've realized over the past year just how much a nation is defined by its people. No matter how great a king, he alone does not a country make.
However,
yet he stands for those very people as symbol and representative. That the king and those around him are of mixed tribes, such as already caused a great shift in sentiment, even for those in the rural villages. How is Tadari?
Now that you mention it.
How is Tadari these days? He seems as busy as he can handle, now that they've resumed trade with other villages. Your coronation inspired that village to greater heights. It proved that barriers can be broken, and that even though they could take the first step. New winds are blowing in every corner of this country. I'll have to make another trip back home with my son to see the changes for myself soon enough. And someday, I hope distant generations will grow up only knowing conflict born of tribal differences from history books.
we shall.
We've a ways to go before that day comes, but until it does, let us forge the path toward it, Your Majesty. You know what? Thanks, Bad Dad.
Yo.
You were base. What up, BS? Hey, out inspecting again. Seems a right pain to me. I appreciate you going to all the effort. Are you making your rounds?
Hey.
Yeah. Captain of the Trading Brigade reporting in. And I'm pleased to report that there's nothing to report, Your Majesty. So I'm taking a break. You don't have a mouthful in it. So not used to calling myself a captain besides. We've even taken in some survivors from Luis's troops, you know. But don't you worry. I've got two eyes on them, even when ain't looking. Where I see it, they weren't the ones trying to make the world worse. I just gotta show them how power's supposed to be used, yeah? We owe to you that there's less discrimination in the city these days. Fewer and fewer turn into a life of crime to make ends meet. If Del could see Grand Trad today, his eyes would bug out. Not just Del, but to the guys who didn't make it.
That's...
Taking me and thinking.
Yeah.
You remember him? Those damned experiments trapped him in a vengeance he couldn't see past. I feel like even he might smile seeing what I'm up to now. We built this piece with a lot of blood and tears. So I say those of us who made it this far owe to all of him what didn't to protect it. Maybe I got nothing to report today. But it's not like bad people just stop being bad because you're king now.
Thank you.
You've been through a lot. So thanks for not giving up on us. Or the world for that matter. You spot any trouble that I didn't spot first? Just point me at it. I'll solve it quick like. So, we have in the crew. I'm gonna interesting. Look at all that nonsense I'm going to ignore. We have the Knight Commander. We have, I guess he's the city guard, right? The way he described that. So he goes around town making sure. This is my, like, fucking public relations and or not, I guess not international relations. I don't remember, like, my, but this is like the security, not security, the secretary. And then back there, Hulkenberg is the commander of the Royal Guard. So that's fun.
All right then.
Let me show you the power of my nepotism. All right, so we go here last because Maria's at the cathedral.
Go.
All right. I think I got everyone down San Lameo.
All right.
Ooh,
Then.
look at all that shit flying in the sky. What are those? Are those cameras? What are you? I get half the feeling that I'm staring at a bunch of devices created by Nurse.
Yeah.
Alright. Speaking of. What up? Oh ho, what brings his Royal Majesty here? Come to feel the wind on your face too, have you? I know how it is. I've the fancy old title of Chief Engineer of the Kingdom Infrastructure Development Bureau, and I can research as I please now. But something's missing. So I threw off that stuffy old uniform and came to gaze upon the runner in the way I do. I know how you feel.
About that.
I feel like I know what you mean when you say something's missing. I knew you'd agree. I think my bones are aching to feel the wind. I would rather miss the days of dashing hither and thither in the runner. Not that I'm ungrateful for the gracious title you've given to a man who used to shirk about, modifying gauntlet runners. You haven't seen anything yet. Why, one day I'll invent a teleportation device that will deliver fresh fish straight from Oceania to your palatial plates. It would change the world, wouldn't you say? I'm just a bit stuck at the beginning on the development.
Indeed.
And it's times like this I need stimulation of the mind. You have anything that might do the trick? Do I smell another relic hunt? Are there more relics on?
That's...
Are you going to send me on another relic hunt? Don't pretend you didn't enjoy it. Every time you'd pop back in with one, I remember how I could hardly contain my excitement. I do so miss traveling like that. Even if the relics themselves were better off left untouched, they've become the guiding principles of my research, you know.
That's...
Convenience is important, but one must consider safety and the effects it might have on the world. An engineer who dumps a burden on future generations is no engineer at all.
However...
Still, it's no small feat to design with a perfect balance of safe and revolutionary. Even I struggle with it, and I'm a bally genius. I knew it. What I need is simulation, La. Your Majesty. Oh, he was gonna say lad. What I need is stimulation, Your Majesty. You know, like the soul-shaking speed and quiver of a drive engine. You'll let me know if you ever want to go out for a spin, won't you? Our dear old girl, sparkling clean and always ready for takeoff. He just wants to go on a joyride in the goddamn airship. As he should. Oh my god, it's a wizard. Hey, Jonah.
My king.
Oh, there you are, Nurse. Heard you were in town, so I decided to see if we might cross paths. I have so much to tell you about my inspection, so I'm afraid you'll need to clear your diary for me soon. Bring any souvenirs? Brought any goodies? You bring a chocolate frog that can jump to life?
In that case...
She's a wizard! Second. She's wearing her wizard outfits. She's the leader of the Mage Academy. I forgot that I was saying their titles. Nurse said the title. He's chief engineer. But yeah, Juna is now our chief mage. But she is the principal? Head professor? I guess principal of the Mage Academy. Which is pretty hilarious because if you don't remember, she did go to the Mage Academy before they shut it down and then she dropped out. So, dropout is now principal.
Gosh.
Let's just focus on the report. Don't worry, I'll give you just the gist.
Well?
Firstly, the Mage Academy's reconstruction is going swimmingly. Ah, yes. Like I said, baby, yeah, nepotism in full swing, baby. We get the whole crew a job. You get a job. You get a job. You get a job. Nah, this is nepotism. Yeah. I said, nah, everybody on the ship with me and everybody that I talk to in these towns, yeah, they all got a job. We making a new department for them. I'm making a new division just for him. Repairs are in full swing and we're already processing our missions. I must say, I'm still surprised you appointed me, of all people, to be the Academy's headmistress. Okay, so head professor was, yeah, okay, headmistress. I always forget that headmaster, headmistress is a title, is like a word. I was rather looking forward to going back on tour as a songstress. Oh, and shall I introduce you to my furry little friend? I scooped him up in the Academy of all play. I didn't realize that's Plateau! Plateau, what are you? That's not a cat. Either that or our father's alive. Yeah. What? Hold on. That ain't a... Because that cat was able to move out of a metaphysical realm, which is where Moore lived. The cat just decided, you know what, I'll just go back to the real academy and just hopped out of the book. All right. During the reconstruction, they stumbled on a little guy in some kind of observatory, supposedly used by a king long ago. Yeah. Considering the igniter around his neck, I'm sure he was being taken care of. I mean, there's no way a cat could survive alone in that code, could he?
So...
Regardless, our mysterious kitty is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the academy. All that knowledge was lost when it fell, so we're starting from scratch. It may even be hiding secrets as big as the Dragon Temple or the Sanctum. Oh, and I'm keeping the cat. Feels like fate, you know?
Speaking of which...
Speaking of fate, on my way back, I met up with Murtis. She's well, I trust?
Now we're talking.
She's been keeping well, I hope.
Yeah.
More than well. Her throat has been fine, and she's a fairly prominent singer about town now. We both just keep soaring to new heights. Her in music and me coming face to face with magic again.
Hey!
Surely you remember, music was the first magic born in this world, yes? When the heart expresses itself through music, it moves the hearts of others. And when they make hearts swell, why? There's no end to the magic. So you watch. With music and magic at my side, I'm going to change the world. All will have equal opportunity to hone their talents at the Mage Academy. Our doors are open to all. That's what my sister would have wanted. And if it makes the world a better place, why isn't that just grand? Brother taught me that magic is more than a tool. It's in all of us, deep in our hearts. Well, little cat.
Wait a sec.
Isn't that the cat from Academia? If that place was made of magic, how's he here in real life? Thank you, Gallica. To say nothing of how he could have survived in a deserted ruin buried in the snow. That shouldn't be possible, right? I just think he's cute. It's just like the version of our character that's like, whatever, magic. He's adorable though, right? Look at this little baby. I'm gonna do it.
That's a good kitty.
And yet he's never stopped looking cute. It doesn't bother you at all? You sure or something else? If memory serves, the last king did build himself a study in the Mage Academy. Do you think Academia was styled after that, maybe? I wonder what His Majesty, what Moore felt when he put this little guy in Academia. Cat tends to himself quietly, utterly impartial to us. You know, I'm gonna wait to see specifically once we get... Is that a fucking...
Oh, right now.
Oh, these pieces of shit are around too. The ex-candidates are just hanging out. I caught him out of the corner of my eye and said, is that piece of shit?
Yes, hello.
Yo, what up, Hitler? To think that you, of all people, would end up becoming the king. I never expected it, but I will tell you one thing. Wax poetic about your ideals all you want, but when it comes to protecting the country, only power will suffice. People don't all approve of a dreamer king. Remind me, who are you again?
How dare you?
What? You don't even remember my face. Bloody hell, this is why you... Never mind. I'll spare you for today. I've watched silently for a year and I still don't accept you as my king. You're all ideals and no power, same as the king before you. Noted. I was thinking to myself that, wait, so are all the, oh my god, there's a bunch of, yeah, look at this. Y'all just hanging out, huh? At least 2 more over here. Hey girl, how you doing, Lena? Hiya, boss. Oh, dang. I suppose I shouldn't be speaking to you so casually, huh? Then again, we were rivals, weren't we? Kaden Workshop's the official workshop of the Palace Engineers now. Right, because Nurse worked with Kaden. Oh, baby, it's more nepotism. Let's go. But this one's deserving. This one's deserving. Nurse was like, when we're out of this, I'm helping your workshop because you guys are amazing and you deserve it. So he did it. He brought Caden's workshop into the fold. Yeah, she can actually do the job. So it was like legit, like, oh, okay, no, but really though, you guys just weren't getting the shot because, you know, I'm like, June, hey, she can do magic. She can do magic. And she's very popular, so it'll be easy to get enrollment at the academy, and that's the important part. Not that it's here nor there. Besides, I'm glad you got the crown. Still lots of humans out there you have to deal with. You'll need a gauntlet runner to get to them. Ken Workshop thanks you for your patronage. Yeah. Good job, Lena. Yeah, this one I really liked. That Nurse kept his promise. To be like, no, we're going to get the workshop back up and running. And you guys are going to sell gauntlet runners across the land.
Oi!
I barely even remember dealing with you. You moron, can't you see I'm busy? Oh, it's you, Your Majesty. Remember me, do you? Remind me? Young king, but with a bad memory, I see. How could you forget Seba, former maintenance chief of Luis's Gauntlet Runner? Oh, you're one of the bosses in the fucking Gauntlet Runner. Right. I was just examining Your Majesty's Gauntlet Runner as part of my research duties. I recall how astonished I was to see her take to the sky the first time. I wanted to get back to my engineer roots, but then Luis started showing his true colors and the Caradrius went down. I've got to say, Your Majesty, you're too soft. We used to be enemies, but you recommended us for the brigade and gave us work anyway. Pretty genius making old Basilio the captain, too. Luis's old crew will fall in line like wooden soldiers. I'm not sure that kind of leniency forges nations. So off with you, huh? Can't imagine you can afford to waste times on relics like me. Be well, Your Majesty. Alright, you seem okay. You seem decent. A little too forward, but you seem decent. I wasn't expecting so many, like, extra folk. There are several. I could talk to the chatty Elda who get, oh, this piece of shit. I should kill you where you stand.
Hello.
Is that Your Majesty? What fortune to bump into you at the end of the year like this. If there's anything my humble personage may be able to do for you, Your Radiance, I'm at your service. Say but one glorious word, and I shall most happily.
Honestly.
Alright, laying it on a little thick, aren't we? It's that forked tongue that got you in trouble last time. You hear me? One wrong move and I'm turning you over to Basilio. You gotta turn your life around. Of course. Yay, good. It was immediately like... I'm happy we immediately said, I will kill you. Ain't this the racist woman who was constantly saying racist shit to us? And Elda. Wait, aren't you His Majesty the King? Why would you be in a place like this? I can't be here.
Oh, come on.
Obviously not. You mock me, Your Majesty. I thought we'd see less of that kind of stuff, but I guess we couldn't expect prejudice against Elda to disappear overnight. An Elder King, what a world. I could shank her right now. Who gonna stop me? They made Basilio a cop. Yeah, he's the head. He's the police chief, essentially. She really was your #1 hater. She really. She's the end game. She's the final boss. She's. Oh my God, there's Loveless. Hold on. I have to talk to my wife first. Actually, wait, no. Let me save my wife. Oh, hey, Kaguya, the other dude. This is the dude who's super in love with... Wait, who's he in? Oh, he's in love with Juna, right? Yeah. I'll talk to Loveless first.
Hey.
What's the word, your majesty? Just one question, if I may. When are you gonna lower the booze prices in this country? I'm only carding you. Haven't felt much like drinking till I black out so often anymore. Oh. Hey, he's on the up and up. He's not on the wagon. He's still drinking. But after I entered the tournament, I really went through some stuff. I was acting a fool on the world stage, and to you too. I'm grateful, you know. Can't speak for the rest of the country, but you've done right by us Parapus. We got better than we ever did. Some chuckleheads out there still try to take their aggression out on us, but they're just venting probably. I'm sure you'll do something soon enough. Alright, I should do something about that before he freaks out. Got it. I don't care about you, Kaguya. My wife! The king himself. Out browsing the shops, huh? Perhaps I need to draft up a royal certificate of appointment. Tell the world we supply goods to the royal family. Any recommendation? Anything you'd recommend? One igniter in particular, in fact. Though I'm afraid we're all sold out of it at the moment. The igniter I made at the children's request, the one that lights up with rainbow colors, is selling startlingly well. The store was packed with families and children. I now hold a position where I control the distribution of all manner of goods throughout the kingdom as the head of the Igniter Consortium. Alright, so that one just... I don't even think I did that. Like, we made an official title, but I'm pretty sure she just became that by default when we kicked the church out of the Igniter business. So it was like, okay, who else does Igniter stuff? Oh, one other person. Got it. And she was doing it for the church, so it was literally just... And then we leaned over. I can't help but think that if I had been in that disposition sooner, then the church's violence, the tragedy of that village could have been prevented. Come on. What matters is how we move forward, though, right?
Yes.
Indeed. I can dwell on the past all I wish, but it won't change it. The future, on the other hand. I took up this post after I was nominated by my colleagues. In other words, I suppose that means people have expectations of me and that I, too, am a spoke in the wheel of change. Our new king has changed his country for the better. However, as a former arms dealer, it would be naive to think all weapons can ever disappear from this world. It's all the more reason I hope that the reasons for people to wield them continue to decline. To that end, I'll continue doing all that I possibly can with all that I am, just as you do. Do you remember my dog? I found the ones who took her. Naturally, I considered ending their lives. And? But there she was, sitting beside them. Evidently, they could not bring themselves to harm such a sweet creature, so they decided to keep her instead. Yeah. Hey, she got to get her dog back. That's fucked up. So it was a dog napping. It wasn't dog murder. It was just a big old dog nap. Okay. I had no choice but to spare their lives. I couldn't subject a gentle dog to the atrocities I'd committed in her name. You should come play with her sometime. I'm sure she remembers you. You trying to invite me back to your place with the cover of, oh, you should come play with my dog? Is that code? Is that code for something? I'm sorry, I don't know how to read this type of situation. Is that code? Anyway, speaking of, my canon wife. What the fuck are you doing just in front of the church? In front of Godot? Oh god, your brother is right there. Excuse me. Alright, carry on. I feel unsafe. Alright. Let me talk to him first. Let me get his...
Hey.
Hello there, Your Majesty. It's great to see that you're doing as well as ever. I've just left a meeting with the provincial lords. I also preach the Mistari teachings in various areas when the opportunity arises. Many still push back against such teachings, but that's perfectly fine. The country is well served by different perspectives. Many of the villagers have come around to this too, you know. I think that's because you all face such danger on our behalf. Still, it won't be easy to change the entirety of Euchronia. Its history is embedded deep in its roots. The country is larger, and some people will need all the power you have. The true test of your values has only just begun. Alright, so thankfully he didn't say anything. Yo, my boy, what up, Batlin? Well, hello there, your majesty. As laid back as ever I see. I myself have been crying like a baby, while I find my position as chairman of parliament. Oh, you know, okay. So he's basically that's basically the House Speaker, right? In Parliament terms. I'm a bit less aware of the roles of Parliament, but I think that means he's House Speaker. Fitting. Perfection. I bet you he could filibuster for days. Still, I've considered these open to all parliamentary meetings. Compiling all those opinions is indeed hard work, but work well worth doing.
This fellow.
It won't be easy for those who were at the church's beck and call to change, but I think they've been starting to see what they turned a blind eye to, at least a bit now. A person who speaks the real truth to the public without yielding to authority. That's why my father and I wish for, or that's what my father and I wish for, a true and proper town cry. This country's turned over a new leaf, but there are still many problems to work out. It seems the rural regions are still suffering from human havoc. All I'm saying is we're a long way from utopia, but still, the first step is as important as the last, and we're taking big ones. And then let me see what... Hey, Godot, have you been doing well? Have you been making the church less a piece of shit?
All right.
Are you surveying the city incognito, your majesty? Your escorts would be aghast. Not that I think anyone is truly capable of harming you. As you are aware, faith in the Sanctus Church plummeted after our misdeeds were exposed. I admit, we were arrogant and unjust, wicked in custom. But people have found salvation through the church as well. I intend to restore the Sanctus Church to its true purpose, to offer salvation for those in need. As Santiago, and as someone who was saved by the Sanctus faith myself, that is all I can do to return the
May
favor.
God keep you, child.
Okay. Alright, yeah, reform the church. I'll believe it when I see it, but get in there.
Greetings.
Working hard as ever, Nose. Where are you going about town and listening to what the people have to say? Myself, I've just come from the Crown Court, where I've been consulting with the people about their grievances and disputes as Chief Magistrate. Ooh. You know, actually, wait. That probably does work for her to be a judge. Because of her ability to sense magla, and magla being directly connected to emotion and stuff, she's probably a really good, what's the word I was looking for? I keep saying adjudicator in my head, but that's not right. She's Matt Murdock, yeah. Basically, you could just hear the heartbeat and like figure out what you're actually feeling. But she'd be really good at being the in-between for a lot of arguing parties. I can't remember the name of that. Not negotiator. There's a specific word that I'm failing to remember. Shouldn't you delegate that? Shouldn't the chief magistrate delegate such tasks? That's the question I shall throw right back at you, your majesty.
In truth,
As you're undoubtedly aware that in the past my citizens were sentenced to hang without so much as a trial.
alas,
Mediator, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm pleased to report things are different now. Anyone, regardless of race or status, can tell their side of the story in court and be judged equally and fairly. Oh wow, we actually managed to create a real... Alright, I'm gonna keep track of this. We're gonna come back to this justice system in about 10 to 20 years and see if all of a sudden there's bias. But I'm gonna believe in it because I believe in Yufa. But I swear to God, if I come back, Yufa, and all of a sudden Ujif have a 80% conviction rate and a 70% release rate, it just goes to show anything is possible, even for a priestess to become a chief magistrate. And my brother is making great strides as village chief. He rather hated the road before, but he's truly found his calling.
the
I think.
reason is,
As I said, no one knows what the future holds. It's all the more reason I try to guide people to good choices. I want to live in a society that practices kindness, where those who suffer need not turn to crime. So I practice what I
Now
preach.
that you mention it.
The other day, I went to visit Avi's church to inquire with those who are sick there about how the kingdom can be more accessible to them. How is Avi? Was Avi doing well?
Very well.
Yes, we practiced dancing together, and then we showed her mother. All of them are ready to ease into working again. Hearing them made me reflect on all the people who still need our help. Until now, the only hope those people had was
I
God.
do believe.
I want to fight for them to have options under laws and systems that they can rely on in addition to higher power. A country where all the tribes with all their values can join hands in harmony. That's what we need.
Because
You aim to achieve that too, yes, Your Majesty? I hope you'll allow me to keep walking alongside you in this.
Wonderful.
Yes. Yes. Glorious. And hey, it sucks. I do appreciate this epilogue existing if it wasn't for the fact that I'm dying from the playthrough aspect and from staying up so late last night. I do really like this epilogue because you jump a year ahead and it's like, hey, it's looking good. You have a pretty good start. Shit didn't fix itself overnight though. Keep going. Like, there's still homeless in the street. There's still humans running amok around the country. There's still people who are like, fuck you, you ain't my king. There's like a whole bunch of nonsense. But we're dealing with it. We moving. We move forward. You're moving. I appreciate the epilogue basically existing to show you that. Oh, hello, ex-candidate Goddard.
Right.
If it isn't Your Majesty, it's been a year since you've ascended the throne, and a quick one at that. Feels like the strife with Luis was but a bad dream. Had you asked me then, I would have been wringing my hands about one so young leading the kingdom, but now, I'm embarrassed to have thought it.
Oh.
You had a keen eye to recognize the danger Luis posed, and are braver still to have fought him. He had a kingly caliber I never truly possessed. Still, a single year is but a drop in the proverbial bucket. Stay vigilant, King. Thanks, dude. Crown Theocracy's enacted reforms saying no injustices shall be tolerated. Like I said, keep an eye out. Make sure they're actually following it. Who's over here? Hey, Barton, my boy. Oh no, unexpected coincidence, Your Majesty. No gods with you today? Don't worry, I'm no tattletale. I myself just left a meeting going over how the provincial governments are doing. We convene for the new year. How are things in Martira?
So,
I was as lively as it used to be, and we owe it all to you, Your Majesty. That dodgy mess you cleaned up for us feels like ancient history now. And I'm pleased to report, as head of the provincial lords, it's nothing but good news reaching my ears. Better relations between towns has employment up and overall welfare too. Each town has specialties and wisdom to offer, and when we combine our heads, there's no problem we can't solve. I just feel so blessed to be part of it. I know I made some blunders when I first stepped into the governor's role, but I'm happy to share my failings so others don't repeat my mistakes. Brings me back.
Got to say,
I know I was trying to do too much on my own back then, and I got a bit overzealous. Of course, some lords are like I was once, and would rather manage things at their sole discretion than leave things to the people. And yes, taking every matter to public opinion can be laborious, or laborious, what with all the proceedings and disputes.
then again.
Still, changing our own lives with our own hands makes the process worth the trouble.
Brilliant.
And choosing a king of our own will, was all the inspiration we needed for change. Nice. Alright, so the towns are doing well. They're picking up. They're throwing it down. Oh, Ray, hold on. Time to run down this alleyway I never run. The fucking libertarian himself. What up, Roger?
Hello.
Your Majesty, it's an honor to meet you at this most auspicious time of year. Speaking of taxes, I know I was quite devoted to Luis at one point. His power was both overwhelming and alluring. Where do you stand now? I'm disgusted by my shallowness, if I'm honest. It's hardly an atonement, but I'll at least try to be straight with you from now on. Not to bring down the mood, but I wanted to mention, I sense something familiar among your supporters. I recognize it because I was the same way. In their eyes, you're a hero who conquered the monstrous Luis. They entrusted you with authority because of your power and their desire to be at peace. Let's assume that the people have expectations not of your ideology, but solely of your power. King or not, failing to see the difference may invite consequences. Please, take it from someone who erred in his ways. People of this country have not recovered from the unrest, and when they do... People are dangerous, Your Majesty. Interesting coming from past libertarian. He's like, those people might suck. It's a little Clamar child. Weren't you a piece of shit to me once too? I should kick him. Anyway. Kick the child. Kick the baby. Oh, hey. Another one of these guys. Xanth. Yeah, them libertarians were crazy, man. Yeah, the bastard who... It's been a while anyway. Bastard, was it? I apologize for my impertinence, Your Grace. I was once known as Sergeant Xanth, but I suppose that title carries little weight nowadays. After losing to you, my own men turned on me and threw me into the Oceana Sea. You suck. Awful as all that was, looking back, those events saved my life. I've heard that all those who went with Luis to the royal palaces in the sky never returned.
I'm left with no choice.
A world where power is everything. I suppose that would be hell after all. Never thought you would ever inspire me to realize anything, yet here we are. Now I'm spending my days doing charity work as a member of the brigade under Chief Magnus. But I'll never give up on making my way up in the world on my own merits. Matter of fact, I was invited to participate in the Colosseum's games in Brawlhaven. While working with the brigade, I helped a nobleman put in a recommendation for me. I'm happy to see that dude's still out there getting people to swing them into the Colosseum. Give me a year and I'll make sure people know the name Xanth as a fighter that electrifies the audience. Alright. Folk all around. New folk all around.
Leave it out, mate.
We kind of don't care about the rest of them, I don't think.
Become a proper kingdom now.
Except... What are you doing all the way out here, Grude?
Huh?
Yeah, the fuck? Ah, it's been quite some time, hasn't it, Nurse? You've matured a great deal in the short years since I last saw you. Rumors of your rule have reached even the Sanctum. Some are kinder than others. Taking the reins of a runaway country must have its share of difficulties. Your face tells me as much. The frail child who could do little more than lie on the brink of death has come so far. Goodness. Tears come so easily with old age. I'm surprised you're here.
Right?
It's a strange feeling to see you in Grand Trad, Lady Grude. I received a rather forceful invitation here, you see. From one of your friends, the girl named Juna. What we doing? Goodness knows how many times she's already come to visit the Sanctum, seeking instruction on magic. Some of the villagers are rather smitten with her. She'd declare that if I wouldn't feel welcome coming to Grand Trad, she would have a highway built directly between the capital and the Sanctum. Oh, Juna. And she would. Yeah, she would. So there you have it. Now then, Nos, or rather, King Nos. The 1,000-year seclusion of the Elda tribe may soon come to an end under your guidance. And yet, the journey ahead of you will be hard. The dreams you hope to achieve will feel just out of reach. So do stop by and show your face around our forest sometime. Your mother cannot do so herself, but I can whip up some of her favorite dishes in her spirit. Thanks, Grude. I might as well be like, thanks, Grandma.
Oh, there.
Alright.
Leave it out, mate.
One last thing to check. There was one more person that I didn't talk to that of specific value.
Young man.
I spotted her and then immediately proceeded to ignore her just because I knew that. I was like, I will save her for last. Just for second. Oh, which means, right, there is one more person here. Hey, Stroll. Okay. We're saving Katarina for last. We have to talk to Stroll first.
Say there.
Hey.
Skulking about the city again, are we? Which is to say Hulkenberg is on the hunt. Classic game of cat and mouse, though who is which I dare not say. It's been a year since you ascended the throne, but it's like you've hardly changed. Should I be more pretentious?
I mean,
Forgive me. I'll try to act more like a pretentious kid from now on.
no.
Ha, that's rich. All that royal blood in you is positively wasted, my friend. What are we to do with you? Not that I can talk. I actually came out for a bit of a breather myself.
So,
You know, I see now that even those at the top have their struggles a little too clearly. A general's duties feel overwhelming at times. Yeah, he got that shit on. He's a general. Wait, wait, actually, the cape. He has on the same type of cape that Luis had on. Because he's a general of the army. He's got that shit on. But their lives hanging in the balance. I recognize the weight of every decision I make, and I do find satisfaction in protecting those lives. Remember our first meeting back at the recruitment center? A fallen noble with nothing to my name, and you a struggling elder traveler. Back then, my only goal was getting ahead. My people were little more than an afterthought. If I hadn't met you, I'd have never realized the truth about my fortune, my father's intentions, and I certainly couldn't have saved a Hallions.
Thank you.
I owe seeing the joy in their faces to you. I think I've said before, but again, thank you. Give yourself some credit, man.
No.
I was so low any credit I could take to you for showing me the way. We live stable, peaceful lives thanks to you.
Hey.
You have a whole country on your shoulders now. The road ahead will be full of challenges we can't possibly foresee. But show me the way and I'll blaze the trail. Now and always, it's my role as a warrior to be the
That's
best.
why.
Our titles may have changed, but I'd like to think our friendship is steadfast as ever. Don't hesitate to rely on me, now and always.
Stay there.
Yeah. Because he has on he has on a completely different fit, like color-wise and everything, and is that a fucking cardigan? Is he wearing a yellow cardigan underneath the jacket? What the fuck? Yo, Stroll. So I ain't know you had it like that, Stroll.
Stay there.
My man dressed out here like Vishon, aka Black Vision. Fucking, that's still one of my favorite MCU memes. Out of WandaVision, everybody just deciding that Vision is going to be black now because that one episode where he's wearing a black turtleneck and they just threw a chain on it, gave him a do-rag, and changed his name to Vashon. I was like, I'm so tired of y'all. I'm so goddamn tired of y'all. But it works. My boy Vashon. What you know about Vashon, Wand?
Amazing.
Anyway, let's talk to the girly bub. Yeah, what up, Katarina? What do you do now that you're not a bounty hunter? You decided to wear the exact same clothes because for some reason you really like the feeling of a metal thong. Well, if it ain't the big man himself, good timing, mate. I just got back into town myself. Long time no see, Katarina.
Oh, right.
Ain't it been? I've been out traveling since I took the reins on the Seekers Recon team. Hard to believe it's been half a year. And crazy doesn't begin to describe what's beyond the sea. The sights, the magic, everything's so fantastic. I'm already itching to get back out there. I forgot that she even said, like, yo, put me out on the front lines. I'll go out past our country and I'll visit the world. I feel like she's the key to a sequel to this game. Part of this epilogue really does make me feel like that they have set up the possibility of this getting a full-blown sequel. And that won't just be a one-off. I don't know what the next possible danger in this world could be, other than we're doing okay, guys. It's pretty decent here. Uh-oh. Invasion from a different country or something like that, you know? Either that or we do a hard time skip and it's for the new generation and they have their own problem they gotta deal with. We do a Boruto. Crazy doesn't begin to, yeah. Well, I'm not especially keen on dodging the bloody cannonballs when my ship gets too close. Lots of tension out there, but what country isn't a little tense? And okay, clearly just straight up whichever country she's gone near, some of them just outright attacked her as she approached. Okay. Everything from the customs to the way they think is so different, my head spins. Makes all the tribal bickering seem right dull, if I can speak my mind. But this country's changing for the better. I'm glad I turned over the throne to you. You turned it over.
Hold on.
You turned it over to me, did you? Yeah, I knew you'd do right by the parapet, so I bowed out early to give you a fighting chance. Just kidding. All my cohort have found jobs, and some of them have even picked up new skills from being out at sea so
See you
long.
soon, I hope.
But don't you worry your kingly head. I'll have it all whipped up in a report for you. Do something proper kingish with it, yeah? World's a crazy place. You heard it here first from Katarina. Anyway, get out of my way. I have to go visit my little sister.
So?
I think we've heard all we can from people. Should we head to where Maria is? Let's call it a day.
That reminds me.
Being here sure brings back memories. You remember how we came here looking for Maria before the tournament of the throne? She was crying back then, though. She's happy.
But
Things are different now, though. You can say that again. This country's turned around since then, no doubt about it. I'm sure there will always be differences of opinion, but your ideals are really coming to fruition now. I can feel it. That reminds me, what's up with the book you're carrying around now? Is that the one you've been working on yourself?
Oh.
I'm excited to see what kind of fantasy you can conjure up. But maybe that's not even the word for it. After all, if you're the one putting it in ink, that means you're going to make it a reality someday. Now then, Your Majesty, shall we get going? Something tells me we're clocked in.
Oh, hello there. Oh, right. I suppose now I should call you Your Majesty. You know, I was just telling Papa, even through all that mess, everyone's really been working hard.
am I keeping my promise properly from back then?
Yes, you beat the villain, and now the city's full of smiles. And I'm sure Papa's smiling down on you too.
That's good. Hearing that from you really lifts my heart.
It's a joy to see kids like her smile. The future changes slowly, and the burden of its momentum will fall on their shoulders one day.
Don't worry. I'll try to do my part with what I've got. I want to help everyone understand that the world could be a better place if we can join hands with one another. Miss Fabian's fed so many hungry people since things changed. Some of those people even said they found their place there. I think I did too. If we can all change together for the better like that, we'll be closer to Your Majesty's and Papa's dream.
Place where I ought to be. The side of myself I ought to show. The path is never clear.
And I want to help with something too. I want everyone across the land to be able to smile.
Yes, I expect great things, my trusty advisor.
Yeah. Thank you, Your Majesty. Oh, thank you, Your Majesty.
We should be the ones thanking her. Feels like I can see the entire country's future in her smile.
The whole gang.
Everyone.
Long time no see. How have you been?
As we find ourselves afield, I thought I might visit Alsace myself.
Hold on a tick. Those people there. Surely not.
Naturally, we're drawing attention. We didn't all have to go at once.
Yeah, you did.
Didn't fuss a thing. It's been too long since we were all together again anyway.
Lady Tuna, did she really come all this way in a runner? Would have asked His Majesty to pop over and bring you back with a teleport or two.
The unmitigated nerve.
Oh, it's fine. I wanted to take in our country as it is. It's definitely a little rougher outside the capital's walls. There's still traces of melancholia around, and the odd human roaming about.
We're sending soldiers out for every incident we can. But it's not easy to hear the voice of the people from more distant regions.
I guess it's obvious. But just because you're king now doesn't make you suddenly all-seeing.
A lesson I learned last year. In the end, I was blind to a great deal of this world. Never would have learned if I hadn't pushed out the door and seen it with my own eyes.
You know what that means? He's right. Capital can be a bit of a bubble. There will always be more to do and learn beyond its walls. Time for a road trip. Time to escape before Hulkenberg can stop me.
I would have just said we could fly over ourselves. I mean, let's be real. The capital isn't going to fall apart if we just sneak over for a little tour, is it?
Of course not. We specifically put precautions in place to keep things running.
Yet it has only been 1 year. We cannot be too complacent too soon, lest the dissidents seize on the opportunity.
Oh, there he is! Over there! See? I told you, that's His Majesty, innit?
Might have been a bit too obvious.
Oi there, Your Majesty!
You dare hoy the king? You
Hold,
swine!
come on, hey.
Malcolmberg, calm. You needn't draw steel on the poor fellow. We're the ones who indulged in this little day trip.
Your Majesty, thanks for all you do, really. Have to say, my life's a lot easier now.
There's more work to do every day, but we're in this together. We believe in you.
Everyone's so supportive. Kind of brings back memories from last year.
Rather. It's the sort of thing to get a chap all misty-eyed over the past. What a journey it was.
We really did just leg it up and down the country slaying dragons, eh? Can't believe we actually survived it.
They were dangerous times, but exciting ones too.
When we fought to appease the dragon god, I had no idea we would have to face another 4 dragons.
Nor I. Never thought the day would come when I'd be hailed as a dragon slayer. Life is full of surprises.
Right.
I was going to earlier say how this feels very FF14 Scions. Yeah, no, yeah. Second, you got there first. You got there right before me. And then as they're doing this, is like, yes, the optional dialogue if you did everything. Oh, look, guys, I got the optional dialogue for doing Boja. I resolve to believe in my ideals, no matter what may come even back then. Even if the world is slow to change, a king's beliefs can never waver. Everyone has to get in line.
Hard road, but we did have fun together, didn't we?
All right, group photo.
Looks like we're drawing a crowd. Time to get back to work.
Indeed. A veritable mountain of tasks awaits us, and I will see it crested.
She said I never want to see another pile of papers ever again.
And not long after, the new year dawned.
Oh, okay. Just a few more days and then the new year. Cool. Great. Awesome. This better be a goddamn cutscene, I swear to God. More, I'm going to fight you. Father, I will fight you. End this video game.
A journey? Are you really planning on leaving us?
There's more I have to see. With my own eyes.
You want to know what's going on in the world, huh? Well, I guess you are the king.
Sounds like fun, but a daily jaunt down to the slums is one thing, and a proper journey is quite another. You're a king now, lad. You've got the people's expectations on your shoulders. It's all right to just sit on your throne and mind the home front, you know?
I want to do what I can for the people. If that's not kingly, then the crown's just slowing me down.
Come on, this is no time for jokes.
Never the fearless gadabout, eh? Well, I take your point, lad. Magla and the humans make a fine barometer for the anxiety still swirling in the country. So you go out and give it a proper survey, where it is and how much is there. If people can't face their anxieties, they can't keep their eyes forward. And if they can't do that, we'll have a bally hard time moving forward as a nation or a people. So you want to get a better grasp of it all. That's your most important duty as a ruler. That's what you're thinking, eh?
Right.
Even the most faraway future begins with the belief that it can be realized. So I'll press onward. That's the best I can do.
If that was your plan, you could have just said so.
Sounds like a fine idea to me. A proper spot of fun, besides. Wouldn't expect any less from our king and captain. Well, since I'm the bally court engineer, I've no choice but to come along. I'm the only driver fit to maneuver the Royal Skyrunner after all. And why, you're the Dragon Slayer King. bane of monsters all across the country. When I imagine what sort of wondrous encounters you've got next, well,
Look, guys.
I'm all agog.
I killed those dragons.
Yes, here begins our quest anew. Let us sally forth upon our... hello? Are you not listening to me?
Everyone else is here. Yeah.
Sire, you've really got to stop chasing these ideas all on your own. You'll be the death of us.
Once again, sire, I've asked you countless times to give word if you're to leave the castle. Such caprice.
Nurse, don't tell me you called for them beforehand.
Saved us a bit of time, eh? Though, hello, what's this? I count only 2 of the 6 partisans. Short a few spears.
For my part, I believe 'tis unrealistic for all of us to depart the capital together.
Oh, so you've no plans to stop our little adventure, eh?
Hulkenberg and I talked it over. We decided that if you insist on going, we'd rather go with you than stop you.
Are you sure about this?
I was thinking back to our last fight with Luis. So many people supported us, but not for any high-minded ideals or arguments.
They were supporting us because we were actively fighting a monster on their behalf. In the end, people make choices based on their personal experience and emotion. Even if decided justly and supported by prosperity, people may struggle to trust a king whose face they do not know. An invisible ruler is no cure for their fears.
Right. I'm not opposed to the idea of getting out into the world again. Really, it might be the wisest move to make sure you're a king everyone knows.
My friends and allies believe as I do. Their support is the greatest treasure I could have.
Still, this early into the new year, 'tis never a dull moment in your Majesty's employ.
Bit of a smaller party than we last set out with, huh? But it's a pleasure to be on the road again with you.
Okay, but can we really afford to have both our general and the Royal Guard's captain coming along for this?
Yeah, it's fine.
It's natural course for the Royal Guard
We got
to
the
accompany
original
the
crew
king.
back.
And I trust my corps is not so feeble that it will fall apart in my absence.
We'll make it work. Got to learn to trust others and delegate, right? We'll just have to lead by example.
Now let's go.
Right then, let's go.
Onward to a new journey.
You once heard my voice and answered a query in kind.
That's a different...
Is fantasy a powerless creation? That timeless question. So long as life remains in the world, we seekers all shall search for our answer. But he will find his. Of that I am certain. And it is thanks to you for believing in and guiding him. That was the true purpose of my royal magic, you know. To seek and obtain guidance from denizens of a land beyond ours. A land that has not yet lost hope. And it was you who answered the call. Armed with your hope, armed with the power of fantasy, you rose in glory. Such courage, such whimsy, and yes, what thrills. You have my sincerest thanks.
Never mind that. Yeah, that is more. That's Hitler days.
Feels familiar. It's been far too long.
Aye, the wind feels an echo of days past.
Unusually poetic for you.
Ah. Ah, we got the crew.
They're awful, aren't they? They would have left us behind. Oh.
Well, I'm not certain we're in a position to talk, having followed straight after, saying we could just teleport back.
Well, hey, we figured the kids might want to change your scenery, like.
Oh!
Wow!
Yeah!
Amazing!
Get in, Maria.
That the scepter's absence restored order to Magla, and even greenery to the sands.
Right?
I'll
It's
say,
no longer a desert.
I definitely like this view better.
Let's go.
We did it. I'm free! Play that shit. Sang that monk. Alright. Now we're done. Thank you for being with me throughout this lovely journey called Metaphor ReFantazio. This wonderful fantasy within a fantasy. They never talked about his mom, huh? No. Nos never shares it. The protagonist, the prince, never shares it. Or the king now. Never brings it up. But last night, deep into the end of the stream, upon us beating Moore, aka Dad, in a metaphysical fight, and him letting us back out to deal with Luis, he gets visited by our mom. And she explains exactly what occurred with her. So we knew from Grude, from Elda Grandma, that she died while saving us out of the fire. But right before she died, she didn't, instead of full on dying, she just left her body. She used a spell to leave her body and become a disembodied spirit. And then she took that opportunity to help guide us to save the kingdom and essentially to save Dad. Even though I think she figured that Dad was gonna get smoked, but still. And then it was along with that spell to be able to act as a bodiless voice guide that she was able to there was something else she mentioned while talking to Moore about being able to pass on some magla that helped activate the archetype the first time for us. So it wasn't, so when we first got, no, not when when we first rejoined with our body and became the prince incarnate again, instead of just an imaginary person, Juna and the others guessed, oh, because you were a being of magla, that's why you awoke to an archetype so easily. And that's partially true, but part of it as well was, no, it's because Mom literally was like, I'm going, you were a being of magla, but you didn't have enough yet, so I'm going to infuse you with more. And that's what allowed us to actually get the archetype. Why do these people have these wild ass abilities? The Elda? Because they are the original magicians. The entire basis of the story, or especially of the Elda, is that they're the original humans from the original world who, and in that past world, we knew a bunch of fucked up magic, and they retained it. And she was the Elda Queen. So she was probably the strongest magician. But yeah, no, that's... Especially considering all of the cute little, call-outs to Etrian Odyssey, and SMT, and Persona. Think that. So the old world was the old world of Persona magic and SMT magic. And then his mama is a descendant of motherfuckers who could do that. Oh, wow. Oh, okay, yeah, shit. That's easy. That's light work. Oh, separate your soul from your body. That's light work from a motherfucker from Persona. Alright. Yeah, cool. For a dude from SMT. Yeah, nah, that's easy. That's a Tuesday. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Easy as shit. And that's the whole thing about archetypes, is that it's the ancient It's like ancient ass magic that is not specifically, I think they were specific to say it isn't the same thing as old world magic, but it's like the closest thing to it. And that's why it's so powerful and busted. That like people of the old world awaken to it here. And by people of the old world, I mean the kings of old. Anyway, we can wrap this up now. Except I can't. They don't even let you skip. They said you're gonna watch these credits. You can't spare another 15 minutes. I can't, video game. You've kept me prisoner for 110 hours. So stream's over now, huh? Where are we? Some type of Suicide Squad? Yeah, stream's about to be over. Granted, some of y'all about to watch ads. I can't stop it. I held it back for the cutscenes, and now I can hold it back no longer. So ads are gonna play. I just want to see if there's an after credits, but I can't skip anything. I actually do hope there's a sequel to this. I don't know what it would be. I did say aloud, like, oh, they do have a decently good setup here to have a direct continuation of, like, we're a couple years into our run as a king, to our era. Or they could skip several generations and be like, this is what the country is post the rule of King Nos 300 years ago or something like that. But they left it very open to easy, like, it's not one of those situations where the magic is gone. So many times the end of a Persona story is like, okay, that is the hard finale of that story, because the magic system of their story is gone. Is like just straight up, you can't do it anymore. So granted, that kind of gets a little muddled with P5 having like 15 spin-off sequels, because they retain their abilities in Strikers and in what was that other one? There's something else other than Strikers. Somehow Luis has returned. Now I think they can easily set up a new danger, and I think even set up a new danger that I personally, if they do decide to do a sequel to this, I vote for generations later. I want it to be 300 years have passed, like some long amount of time has passed. Our cast is completely gone, except maybe a few people. Because my understanding is, like, King Nos would be gone, Stroll would be gone, Izme would be gone, and Yufa and Basilio. Juna and Hulkenberg might be around. They might just be around. I don't remember if they lose it in 3. Neither do I. And I guess you also have to take into account the answer. Or I think more so with 3 and with 5, they technically lose it because their power is like connected to, it's the same in all of them where it's connected to the realm they have to travel into. But like the Midnight, I always fuck this up and when I say the Midnight Realm, but in 4 it's like I think it's in 4, it's like, no, they can retain those powers outside of the TV. It's just, that's where it first awoke. Whereas in 3 and 5, they're like, Gallica lives forever. Yeah, so Gallica can be around. 3, it's tied. It's like very much tied to Tartarus. And in 5, it's very much tied to entering people's mind palaces and mementos. The existence of mementos. And you kind of blow that shit up. And the workaround they get for the sequels of P5 is in Strikers, the villains of that create new mind palaces and essentially like reawaken everyone's power. Yeah, because in 4 they had Ultimax, right? Oh, right. I keep forgetting about the fighting game and the fact that that's canon. Shit. But yes, but yeah, that's why in 4. But that means P3 people keep it because, yeah, because there are P3 people in Ultimax. So then, okay, so the people in Persona 3 keep it as well. But the Great
Dear
Seeker.
guest, from a world I shall never know.
Oh, wait, shit.
In your eyes, I know our journey was ultimately a fiction.
Oh, this whole time it wasn't being narrated by Moore. The story's been narrated by me. Well, I named the first king me, but still.
However, I hope your memories of this fantastical adventure burn as bright in your reality. I hope the promise of our world echoes in you. With all my heart, I hope that fantasy gives you strength.
Oh. Continuation. Because it never ends. The video game never ends. Oh, is that his ship? Yep. Can y'all not
Look at that.
hang around that?
The rubble's just bait for tourists now.
I never expected a view like this.
Let's see it all. Let's see the world.
Yeah.
I'm so scared they're gonna activate something
A new
that...
journey now beckons. In days of Eld, the people prospered and perished in turn.
Okay, that's
Struck by
what's
their
up. That's what it
ways,
says.
I was a book of my dearest ideas.
Yeah.
A tale of fantasy. In my vision, they placed their trust, and so the kingdom breathed new life.
The strength to believe in the unknown, that can change everything.
That's Mom.
Without a doubt, you will face all sorts of trials ahead. But carry onward with all your heart. Onward, fearless, into a world unknown.
Yeah! I did it. By saving your clear data, certain things can transfer over as is to a new game. You can transfer currently owned items with some exceptions: money, mag, royal virtues, scanned enemies, memorandum, archetype statuses, and total playtime. Holy shit. Save it on the 3rd slot. That's the clear slot for me. That's good shit right there. That's good shit. I'm free! Alright. Alright. Good work, everyone. I have to go to this screen so it doesn't do it. Yay! Clear data. Ooh, look at my star. Alright. But yeah, like I said, hey. Thanks for hanging out. Since November of last year. We have been playing this since release. So since November of last year, thanks for hanging out with me for all these metaphor streams. I wanted to stream something else today, but you know, last night kind of beat my ass in. But hey, nice little short stream for today. We'll be back next week. I'm not gonna do Xenoblade Chronicles next week, even though that will make it then 2 weeks that we haven't touched Xenoblade Chronicles X. I need a little breather. I need a little breather between RPGs. So next week we're going to play Little Goody Two Shoes. And 2 other things. I think, well, on Sunday we're gonna do some Monster Hunter, because I need to hit up the Blossom Festival and Arch Tempered Raid Owl before they both disappear. So that's Sunday. We're gonna get back into some monster hunting, and then we're gonna bounce between Little Goody Two Shoes and another game next week. And we're playing short games, man. Xenoblade Chronicles X is gonna be a decently long one. I probably got another 80 hours in that. So that's my new suffering. I think at least in terms of streaming, I'm done with JRPGs for a while. I will come back to you with some JRPG goodness in like 6 months. Maybe a full year. It might be till next May that I stream a JRPG on this channel again, because Jesus Christ. But it was fun. As silly as I'm being, it was fun. But yeah. I know it's very early considering my usual streams. Yeah, it's about to be midnight. Y'all have a lovely night and or day for anyone who's across in a different time zone. And onward. This is when I tell all of you this has been whiskey all along. Imagine if I could just drink hard liquor with the straightest of faces out, like just go like and feel nothing. I wish I was that person. No, I don't. That is alcoholism. No, I don't. But yeah, we'll be back on Sunday for Monster Hunter, and I'll let you guys know at random spurts of time how Clear Obscure and 100 Line Academy are going, because I'm still gonna play JRPGs. I love these freaking goddamn stupid games, despite how much of my lifespan they take. But I can't stream it. I can't because I want to play them for like 10-hour spurts, and I can't stream a game from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. again. All right, good night. Get out of here. Get out of here. Bye.